Hello again, and welcome back to another Draw with me. So this episode, I'm doing another still life that's based off a prompt from the Instagram still here, still life. And I basically use them as like a way to find things to do. And sometimes you get sort of artist block, no idea what I'm gonna illustrate, and they always have something, and like I'm currently going back into their old ones, but also doing them now that I've remembered they exist. I'm doing them as they do them each week, each prompt, so then get to see lots of other people's interpretations of the illustrations. It's a lot of fun. And I've recently discovered like a room sort of similar Instagram prompt thing, but it's for like rooms, and I'm gonna try doing that as well. Get used to doing like larger spaces and like kind of sets and things, because I do want to get back into doing like graphic novel type stuff, and obviously like in graphic novels people are in rooms so I need to practice that for sure, and also more character sort of illustration. Like I've recently updated my portrait, which doesn't look that much like me, but that's sort of my little symbol avatar type thing, or logo, whatever you want to call it, profile picture, that's the word. But yeah, so thanks for watching this one. It's a bit of a longer one, so I decided to do a little podcast voiceover type thing. I haven't done that in ages, not since like my first couple ones, but since this is a longer one, I thought it makes more sense for me to do the sort of podcasty stuff for the super long videos rather than the short ones. I think the short ones I'll keep to just having like relaxing background music and stuff, and this week all the music is by one particular sort of lo-fi copyright free artist, and all the links and like the timestamps are like in the description below. So it's by one particular person, but it's like lots of like basically a playlist of all of stuff, like a load of stuff. So definitely go check him out and like subscribe to him, because like his stuff is just so nice, especially if you're like wanting to listen to things whilst just studying, or even just like reading or something, because I don't have like words. I find things with like singers and stuff really like distracting from working. But yeah, and a little update on me. 2 people tried to scam me on Instagram yesterday, I think. Was it yesterday or the day before? Where they tried to commission me to, it was basically the same thing but 2 different Instagram accounts. They might have even been the same person, but they basically tried to commission me to do pair portraits, which I don't do, so it was a bit of a weird request. But sometimes people ask artists to like do things that are completely different to what they normally do and expect it to be perfect. So like I was like, okay, maybe they just don't know anything about art and like artists, and I'm always up for some money, so I was like, okay, sure, because I can turn that around relatively quick and get a couple hundred. And so like I gave them, they're like, oh, we only want to do PayPal, and I was like, that's fine. There's like the goods and services thing, so a lot of people, especially if you're contacting someone over the internet to do something for you, like an illustration, it makes sense you wanted to do that. But they supposedly sent the money through friends and family or whatever, and then like they were like, check your spam for confirmation. I was like, okay, weird. And like the email said like, oh, in order for your account to be accredited with this money, this person has to send you an extra 100, and then you have to refund them immediately and send the receipt. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like I've had more money in my PayPal than like a couple hundred. Like it doesn't make any sense. And 2 people were doing it at the same time, and like my Gmail was like, this is a scam. So I was like, I'm not sending you any bloody money. I don't have any money in my account, so I'm not gonna send it to you. And one of them got really like aggressive with me, which is like another sign that it's definitely a scam. Was like, I trusted you, blah, blah, blah. Like, you have to send it to me now, blah blah blah. I was like, if you really did send me the money and you're just you genuinely are just like a random person, then you can just contact PayPal. Like, it's not my problem. I don't have money in my account. I even sent a screenshot of the 0 money in my account, my PayPal account. Don't worry, there was no like details they could get me. And like the email, they tried to they suddenly were like, oh, we can do it by bank transfer. Oh, so bank transfer wasn't an issue in the first place. Okay. And the person that, one of the people that like more aggressive one, was supposedly someone like called Jane something, like some, you know, basic white woman name. And then the email linked to the PayPal they wanted me to send $100 to was like some Spanish bloke's name. And I was like, didn't really think that through, because it actually comes up with a name, and also the email address was like a weird trucking email address, and I was like, that's just really random. Like, I'm not sending you money, like, I'm not thick. And then I basically just said, look, if you did genuinely send me money, ask for it back on PayPal. And it's pending. I was like, ask for it back on PayPal, it's not my problem. So yeah, and they were doing it literally, they sent me like the messages like the same day, so it might have not been the same person, but had the same sort of business model and email thing they were doing. So if you are another creative and illustrator on social media, be careful of that sort of thing, because like I didn't realize people did that to just like illustrators, to try like pretending to be like customers or clients or whatever. Like I know people try and scam shops and things by being like, oh, I received your product and it was broken or it was shit, give me a refund, and like they never bought it in the first place, and like they give like a fake item number. Like I knew that happens, but I didn't realize like it happens with like artists and stuff. Yeah, so that was my week. I've also applied to a couple jobs, so I'm hoping to get some art technician jobs at schools around my neighborhood. So like the art technician is basically the person who makes sure like that like the teacher has all the supplies and the equipment's like clean and like up to date and safe or whatever. Like it's not like a teaching assistant, like I've done that before, and it's quite, I think it's more of a like a lot more admin and stuff, like buying like stock and things for the like classes and like that sort of stuff. And like I think I might have to be there for like health and safety purposes for certain things. So if they're using certain equipment, like a physical printing machine, not a printer, like a printing machine for like art, that sort of stuff. Or like say if they use a heat press, something like that, where children can injure themselves. These are at secondary schools, by the way. So there's 2 in my local neighborhood that I've applied for. One's like 36 hours, and I think it's more like, from the job description thing, it was more like all the creative departments you're sort of helping out with, so include as well as like the art department. Like I might have to help out with like the music department and DT, which is design technology, like, you know, woodworking, that sort of stuff. But and the other one is at another school where I think that one's an all-girls school, and it's 15 hours a week, which would be better because I want to do a master's in the next year. So obviously like 15 hours is like less than half of the hours of the other place. So I'd prefer to that, because then it won't be like I need money to live, but it won't be my main thing. Like I want to have the ability to do other stuff other than just work full time, because I've done working full time and it's just so exhausting to like be able to do that as well as do like my illustration and stuff. Like when I was a TA, I was working 5 days a week, and I would literally just come home and pass out. Like I had no life. I couldn't do anything else. And it wasn't a creative TA position either, Where it's like, even if I only get offered the job, the full-time one, I'll still take it because I need the money and I need to live. But also when I eventually like get my own place by myself, I need to have like job experience in the sort of area that I want to be doing. Like I eventually want to move to like Somerset and get myself like a little cottage or something. Like I want to be one of those people that live in the woods by themselves and does art and is surrounded by dogs. That's my dream. So I need to have like some sort of job experience so that when I eventually move to a whole new town with no one that I know there, then I need to be able to like get a job so pretty much straight away, and that'll be what would enable me to move there. Like I currently live in London, which is obviously very expensive if you're like in your 20s. Like I can't, like, that it's not realistic for me to live by myself in London. Like I would literally just be living in a house, like in someone else's house, like in a room in a house. Like I've already got that here at home, and here at home I have dogs, so it's better. And I'm not spending like $1,000 a month on the rent. So that's the plan, is to basically just leave London and become a wood witch or something. But yeah, so that's sort of it for me, for my updates or things like that. I'll let you get on with enjoying this relaxing draw with me. Hope you enjoyed my little story time and also the soundtrack playlist thing that I put on here, and like the illustration outcome. So please subscribe and like and comment and do whatever people do on YouTube. I would love to be able to, do my own drawings and like that be how I make a living. Obviously not right now, I'm not able to, but that's the dream. So yeah, watch my videos so that I can become a hermit in the woods surrounded by dogs. So yeah, enjoy.